The games the gods have always played with humanity have been analogous to chess. Being of higher dimensions, playing with humans is clearly more complicated, but in our little mind, the game of chess is what we can best guess at. Welcome back to Beholder Media. So good to see you. And we will be continuing our deep dive into the Fear Mythos by going over one of the biggest canons that there is, the Great Gameverse. The Great Gameverse is a canon for the Fear Mythos and can be considered the first. Sean Barber, aka Lizardbite, is its creator. It created the base template for what most people would consider the way to create a verse. There are 7 blogs considered part of the canon of the Great Gameverse. The first being a centrically board which is connected to hidden trees. They are both by Lizardbite and both cover the concepts of the Archangel and the Slender Man. The archive, created by Lizardbite as well, goes into the organization that gathers data on fears, and it led to an experiment which was meant to birth a new fear. Perchance to Dream, also made by Lizardbite, focused on the rake and its effects in the game. A Tangled Web included the first appearance of the intrusion, which is a swarm of insects that overtakes a person's body. Ink, which goes into greater detail about the Great Gameverse in mysterious diaries left behind to the author. And lastly, the 13 Apostles, which goes into a shard bearer named Matthias and his bid to survive after infection. The Great Gameverse itself is all about using humanity as vectors for influence over reality. At one point, the fears did used to do this by themselves. They used to battle each other, but this led to the creation of the Quiet, which, if you remember my last episode, is the fear of nothing. It consumes all and will consume everything. In the Great Gameverse, the fears are portrayed in a very Lovecraftian sort. They are beyond the scope of human comprehension. Certain traits are assigned to specific fears, which they may not exhibit in other settings. The wooden girl is cold, silent, and ruthless. She never speaks and has a painted-on face. She keeps a princess of puppets close by in case something happens to her body, so she can hop into that body. The rake is seen as intelligent and manipulative. His whispers enter a person's dreams and causes a hallucinogenic hysteria known as the compulsion. The compulsion is what forces people to write in blogs about what happens. It's kind of to answer the question of why would someone write about this as it's happening. The compulsion in this is also an indicator as to why the Slenderverse started. The rake created the Slender blogs through the vector of humans as a way to play with the idea of how humans would react to the fears, using the Slender Man as the base because it is nigh indestructible. The Archangel, as we've covered in the last episode, is a fear that can take on the form of others who die. It is hell incarnate. The Empty City does not participate in the Great Game. However, it is used as a means for people to travel in the Great Gameverse. Fears can mark their servants in order to allow them to use the Empty City as passage. It is possible to ask the city for transportation, and it will usually allow you if you're marked. However, if you do interfere with the city, then it will be angered. The blind man also does not participate in the game. He prefers to stay on the sidelines watching. He's also more attentive to his human servants than the other fears, though unlike, say, the Archangel, he does not consider cultists to be his servants. The last fear of this canon is the Mother of Snakes. She is pale, hairless, and resides in the world behind mirrors. She's able to change her form at will, and she can call upon images of what is, what was, and what may be. She can pull people into her world through mirrors, as well as bring herself out of the mirrors. She is a reflection, and as such, does not tell a lie. A reflection only shows truth. However, she is more capable of hiding and distorting the truth than you would assume. That is the bare bones summary of the Great Gameverse. I do highly recommend checking it out because there's a lot of interesting stuff that goes into it. So I want to experiment with these shorter videos, so hopefully this was okay and kind of informative. Really, my main goal with this channel is just to inform people on things, so that way y'all can go then form your own opinion on things. So please go check out the Great Gameverse wiki page. It is linked below, and check out anything else that Lizardbite has written. You can find him, and I'm pretty sure he's written a few other works since his time in the Fear Mythos, so definitely go check him out. Anyway, this has been Beholder Media. It is so good to see ya. And please, enjoy the rest of your night. Goodbye.